Hey everybody, KC here. So perhaps you've seen it. There's been a lot of coverage in the last week or so about the fact that there's a bunch of researchers at MIT that have been doing a study into why when you have an Oreo and you twist it, the cream only tends to be on one side of the cookie, right? You twist it off and there's not cream on both sides. And they decided at MIT that this is something worth studying. Now, far be it from me to criticize a bunch of MIT researchers for looking into something that strikes me as being, interesting, but not particularly, consequential, let's say. But I guess when you're at MIT, you look into a lot of different things. This is what they decided to focus on. And this is a really kind of interesting. And one of the things they discovered is, the reason is it has nothing to do with really the cookie, but that the cream is so strong that it tends to stay together. So it's not that the cream is adhering to one side of the cookie or the other. It's more about the strength of the cream, so that when you twist it off like that, it ends up being, it's all on one side and not on the other. And this seems to be pretty consistent. You do it with a bunch of cookies. A little bit of cream ended up on the second one there. One of the things I found when I went out and bought a box of Oreos, right, so I could test it out myself, I was kind of curious. Listen, if they can do it at MIT, I can do it. One of the things I will tell you is, based on my memory of Oreos, and I don't eat a lot of them, I love them, which is one of the reasons I don't eat a lot of them anymore. But the cookie itself seems to be a little bit less substantial than it used to be. And it used to be that there was a lot more cream. And I'm not talking about double stuffs. I just think it just somehow seems flimsier. And I don't know if this is a case of shrinkflation, where they've made the cookie flimsier and use less cream as a way to save money so they don't have to raise prices. It's just not quite the experience that I particularly remember. The other thing I will say is this. So there's a lot of discussion about that one of the things they said in the Wall Street Journal story, for example, is that everybody likes to eat Oreos the same way, which is you twist them off and then you eat one side and the other. I will say, as somebody who's, in terms of when I eat Oreos, I try and mix it up a little bit. Like sometimes I'll twist it off, right? And sometimes I'll sort of eat off the cream and then I'll eat the cookies part separately. Sometimes I'll just eat the whole thing. It sort of depends on my mood. But one of the things they're not studying at MIT, apparently, and I think that's the best way to eat an Oreo, which is you take an Oreo, right? And then you have a glass of milk and you dunk it. And then, to me, that's the best way to eat an Oreo. Anyway, these are the really important things that are on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind. I'm going to have another one.